Scrum is an iterative incremental development process framework that allows cross-functional self-organizing teams to work together to create value. It can be a great process for us as we develop courseware to really focus in on what our students need and allow us to develop this content quickly. Some of the benefits of Scrum are it allows us to deliver a valuable capability earlier to the user. It allows us to have better user satisfaction because we're involving the users in the process and we're taking their valuable feedback and folding it back into the development process while there's still time. And it also provides transparency to the development process so that all the stakeholders can see the true progress and status of the development effort. So there's no hiding where we're at. We're measuring using the working capability to measure our progress. So everybody has an understanding of where we're at. And so you have a better insight into how the project is performing. The elements of Scrum are pretty simple. There are 3 roles, 5 events, and 3 artifacts. The roles are the product of the Scrum team are made up of the product owner, the Scrum Master, and the development team. The product owner really owns the vision of what we're trying to do. They're there to maximize the value. They're the spokesperson for the end user. They manage the backlog, and they set the order in which we work things. So they're there to maximize that return on investment. The Scrum Master is really a facilitator, a coach. They understand the process. They're there to help remove impediments. They're a servant leader. They work with the development team and the product owner to make sure they understand the process, and they help out and try to make sure that the team is able to operate smoothly. The development team is that cross-functional, self-organizing team that work together to take those capabilities and turn them into take those requirements and turn them into working capability. The 5 events in Scrum are sprint planning, daily Scrum, sprint review, and sprint retrospective. The sprint's really a time box, the container in which we do all the work. Usually the first day of the sprint, we do sprint planning where we plan. The product owner brings the priorities, the team has their capacity, and we bring in, what we can get done, and we negotiate, and we plan that next iteration. Once we start that iteration, the team gets together daily, 15 minutes or less to plan the day's activities. And then at the end of the sprint, we have a sprint review where we want to have a demonstration of that working capability. And then lastly, we do a sprint retrospective, which is really putting Principle 12 in action, where we review the process and the product and look at ways we can improve both. And then, of course, in the Scrum, we produce the 3 artifacts. At the end of each iteration, we want to have potentially shippable done capability. The product backlog is our requirements owned by the product owner that really manages what we're going to do. And then the sprint backlog is that subset that's owned by the development team. That's really their plan for what they're going to get done inside that iteration.